Yo, what is up, guys? We are back. Another tier list video for you guys. You really killed it with the anniversary tier list one, man. I'm gonna make a post about that later today. Like, yo, y'all killed it, bro. Keep running it up. So I thought, all right, y'all must really love these tier list videos. So I'm going to do another one. So here, I know it says most hype. I kind of just took the whatchamacallit. I took the my brain. I took the tier list that had all the 2023 units on it, and I'm going to but I'm gonna like actually rank them like how good they are in game, not really off of hype. Let me go to the Dokkan wiki. Okay. Let me just bring that up. So I'm not gonna rank the free-to-play units and banner units. I don't know, should I? Nah, because then I would have to say all units, but then that means I would have to do Easy A's as well. And I already did an Easy A tier list video, so I'll leave it alone. But yeah, this video idea that came to me like last night. I was playing hell was I playing? I was playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I don't know why this came to me. I was just like, maybe I should do a tier list for like how well like premium Dokkan Fest and like Yellow Coin LRs and Carnivals performed last year. So yeah, I'm leaving out Easy A's. I'm leaving out banner units. I'm going to be honest, most banner units are around here. There may be a couple that hit A, but most of them are like B to D. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think any unit was as bad enough to be an F. I wouldn't say that. But yeah. So there are some units here that aren't Dokkan Fest that I'm gonna count. So like Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and Super Saiyan 3 Rose, I'll count them because they headlined a banner. Same thing with Mamba and Android 18. Like, they headlined a banner, so I'll count them, right? They aren't Dokkan Fest, they aren't Carnival LRs, anything like that. But since they headlined their own banner, I'll count them. So starting off, we have the DBZ duo. Okay. People really don't like this guy. Let me pull them up real quick. People really they don't like this unit. I think people are hating a little too much. Now, can they get caught? 110% they can get caught. They can get caught super easily. But I can't deny that they can also stack up very easily. And once you get to base Vegeta, like base Vegeta is still like God defensively. He's still God. And then this Spirit Bomb hits like a nuke when you crit. It really, even when you don't crit, like it still hits pretty good. I cannot deny the defensive prowess of this base Vegeta. You just have to get there. But at least it's not that hard to get there. Fourth turn after performing 4 supers or whenever your HP falls below 50%. Like, it's not hard to get there. The main problem is they get crit while their immediate counterpart, the GT duo, they get damage reduction for each super attack performed. So, obviously, we're in an age where defense is better than offense. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not having this argument with people. Offense is fun. Offense is more fun than defense, but defense is better than offense. So at least in the GT duo, majority of the time, like, tanking a whole lot better. But I think people really hate on this guy a little too hard. I'm gonna say they're an S. I'm gonna say they're S tier. I can't put them Z tier. I can't do it. No, I can't put them Z tier. But I think they are a very, very, very strong S tier unit. Now for the GT duo, I'm not playing. They are Z tier. I'm not playing. Like, I'm not playing with this. No, they are that good. They are that good, bro. They are actually that good. I just mentioned the Z duo gets crit while they get damage reduction. The damage reduction is way more helpful than the crit. They have a revive once you go into the standby, and they have the same, well, no, their condition is slightly different. If they receive an attack 4 more times starting from the 4th turn, they standby, or 50% or less. Then you go into this Vegeta. Now, this Vegeta, obviously, like, he gets killed. His main purpose is to get killed so you can throw the Spirit Bomb. Now, I will say this. The Spirit Bomb, I found more often than not the Z Duo Spirit Bomb is hitting harder than theirs, but the GT Duo Spirit Bomb can hit super hard as well. It definitely can. This Vegeta has, I mean, he has key support, like 8 key, 80% attack. Like, he has stuff, but he's obviously here to just die, right? He's obviously here to just get killed. When he gets killed, they throw the Spirit Bomb, and you go into the next turn fully healed from the revive. And it's like you revert back into this guy, but it's not like you're reverting back into a unit that has bad defense. They're getting these defensive buffs from each super attack. They can super 4 times, if I'm not mistaken, and they get damage reduction up to 50%. Like, they can be incredibly good defensively, definitely. And their attack is very solid as well. I think the Z Duo's attack is a little bit better, but their attack is very solid as well, especially when you factor in the Spirit Bomb. I think because they cover all bases, offense and defense, they have to be Z. Z Duo only covers mainly offense until you get the base Vegeta. They can cover offense anything past turn 1 if you get lucky. Now, Carnival Kid Gohan, right? This is an interesting one. People really hated him and the AGL Carnival Goku, not because they were bad, but because they didn't need to be part 2 LRs. I mean, I'm not. I get people's frustration. Like, I get it. We wanted it to be Omega and Kid Buu, but I mean, seeing it, Omega's gonna show up later in this video. Seeing how Omega kind of ended up, I'm kind of happy he wasn't a part 2 LR. But yeah. This Kid Gohan's very underrated. He's very underrated. He can have very good defense. His attack is okay. He has the unit super with Piccolo. He can stack. Like, he's just a pretty strong unit. His link set's okay. Gains of Respect, I'm not the biggest fan of. Z Fighter's not the biggest fan of. The Innocence, only like certain Gohans have that. Only certain units have that. But like, it's not bad. He's definitely a good unit. He's definitely a very good, very strong unit. Would I say he's better than a Z Duo? No. But I would also say he's in the same tier though. Like, I would also say he's in the same tier. AGL Carnival Goku. Ooh. I'm going to say he's in the same tier as well. I think he's better than the Gohan. I'm not going to really, like, categorize them, like, best to worst in the tiers themselves. I'm kind of just going to put them in there when I put them in there. I think AGL Carnival Goku is better than his Gohan, yes. You can put him Z tier, and I wouldn't be mad. You really can put him Z tier. I'm not going to, but you definitely could. This guy is very strong. He's got the guard. He survives KO attacks. He has crit. If I'm not mistaken, he has additional somewhere in here. Okay, no, he actually doesn't. He has nullification. The Spirit Bomb can hit pretty hard. He stacks defense. Like, he's very strong. And he has a better link set than Gohan. He's just very strong. He's very strong. He has a lot of defensive kit. A lot of defensive mechanics that lead to him just being able to tank hits. And he has crit, so like he could do pretty decent damage as well. Yeah, very good unit. Very good unit. Okay. So, we're finally going to get out of the LR craze. Like I said, I'm not counting these banner units. I mean, TN will probably be a B. AGL, Gotenks, and Piccolo is probably a C. Ice and Nova's a D. They suck. Alright. First TUR. Super 17 or 17 and 17. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Straight up, they were not made strong enough. They weren't. They were not made strong enough. They needed to be stronger, bro. Their base form is just not gonna cut it. It's not. They have all these additionals and all that. Cool. You're really relying on the 57. Well, actually, no, it's 47% to dodge, right? Because they have. Where is it? Where is it? I know I'm not crazy. Oh wait, no. It's okay. So it's plus 17% within the same turn with each attack performed. Okay, so like it goes up as they super. So one super is 17, and then it would go to 34 with this attack, and then it would go higher with this attack. Okay, and then you could potentially get the hidden potential. So like it would be 4 times, right? But I mean, even still, you are relying on the dodge, but it's like that's not terrible. But they are a dodge or die character because these could very easily just be additional normals. Well, okay, this one is only for superclass enemies. So if you don't have a superclass enemy, he's only doing it 3 times, and then you could also not get the hidden potential, so he only does it 2 times. Yeah. See, we're already picking him apart. Besides the dodge, he really doesn't have any defensive tech. I hate his fusion condition. It's the same one as Vegito's. Can be activated when HP is 70% or less, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. But theirs is easier because theirs is start of battle. Vegito's was start of turn. That does mean something. Yeah, but they're still not great and not on great teams. And then you think when you get to Super 17, oh my god, like Super 17 is gonna kill, but he's got to get hit 10 times to build this up, to build up more defense. It's like, on top of struggling with a bad fusion condition, he has to then get hit 10 more times. It's like, and you're not getting this before turn 5. Like, how long do y'all think the fights are going to go? He gets damage reduction for 4 turns, and then he gets an additional 17%. Like, that's cool. That's good. And then he absorbs Ki Blast Supers and recovers 34% of the damage absorbed as HP within the same turn if HP is 70% or less. I feel like there didn't need to be a restriction here. And then he has a Scouter when HP is 34% or less. See, the thing with that is, like, enemies aren't just whittling you down to 34%, 20%, 10%. Like, they're murking you and sending you back to the main menu, right? Super 17 isn't strong enough for how annoying their fusion condition is. Super 17 isn't strong enough right out of the gate. He's not. He can do very good damage, and he can get to a very high defensive peak. But it's not where it should be when he comes out. And by the time, like, turn 5, like, this is turn 5 or later, and there are some fights you just straight up don't get it, he should be stronger right away. I think Super 17, the 17 and 17s are a C. I do not think they were that good. I don't. I personally do not think they were that good. And the brand unit's a D. The brand unit's a D. I'm not gonna, put them up there. I'm not gonna waste time with them, but the brand unit is a D. Alright, God Goku. Here's where we start cooking, right? I think everybody is in agreement. Like, God Goku is, like, top 5 TUR. Like, right? I would say he's top 5 TUR. This guy's incredible. Yeah, he has key orb restrictions, but I have found those restrictions to be very light. I haven't found too much problem with them. I guess, I suppose it could always happen. So he gets 3 or more key spheres, he gets 60% chance to dodge. 6 or more key spheres, he guaranteed guards and launches an additional super. Yeah. So, like, with the guard, with the key orbs, with the dodge, like, he's like, very good defensively. He'll do very good damage. He has additionals. Well, I guess he only has 1 additional, right? Oh, yeah, I guess he only has 1 additional. So he could super 3 times, I think. He type key sphere changes. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of type key orb changers, but for him, it definitely works. It definitely works for him. Yeah, it's not really a whole lot to this guy. He's just can be very strong defensively. He stacks, which is good. I mean, this is probably like the best leader skill in the game, right? Or maybe Vegito's is better. That's it. pure Hyper Saiyans. Like, that's insane. And Power of Wishes being the 30% and Exploding Rage, crazy. Um, yeah, so like this guy, he hits hard and he can defend pretty well. He has an active skill. Now, I don't use it very often. Performs a guaranteed crit and he deforms into Super Saiyan, and you could activate this from the 5th turn from the start of battle. If the character performs 4 more supers, that's not hard. Very good link set on a bunch of teams. And then he deforms into Super Saiyan Goku. Now, this guy, he's not really a defensive prowess. He's here, like, if you're ready to finish the fight, bring him out. Because he does, like, stupid amounts of damage. Guaranteed crit for 3 turns and then super effective after that. Very high stats and gives himself ki. 70% chance to dodge before you're attacking. So it's like the B-Pan. It's like the Tech Pan effect, kind of. So you have to be mindful of that. And then he launches an additional that has a high chance of being a super. So he could, like, triple super, triple crit. Yeah, he's, like, super strong. He is. But defensively, he's not the craziest. So I would only bring this guy out if, like, you're ready to finish the fight. You're confident you can finish the fight that turn. I would only bring him out. But with that being said, I'm putting God Goku as Z. I think God Goku is an incredible TOR. I honestly think he is incredible. Incredible. Next. Okay. All of these guys. Oh, Super Boo. Wow. Damn. Super Boo. Okay. LR Super Boo, right? He's tough. I would never call him a bad unit. Never. He's not a bad unit. He's not. Right. However, he has annoyances with him, like the guard not being guaranteed. It only being a 70% chance. But then you get guaranteed guard when you're fighting a Buu Saga or a Fusion or Fused Fighters category enemy, which you're never gonna see unless you go into that Mortal Will and Gods event or whatever. Besides that, you're never gonna see it. He has additionals, right? He's one of those, he has to be hit to start tanking better. But if he doesn't guard, he can get hit super hard. If he guards, you're fine. But there's a 30% chance he doesn't guard. And if he doesn't guard, like, it hurts bad. It probably kills you. But once he's fully built up, I cannot sit here and act like his defensive numbers aren't good. I can't sit here and act like I've seen this guy do like 15 million attack stats, bro. Like, this guy can get to a massive level. His active skill condition is tough. 60% or less starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. It can be very annoying. But then he recovers 40% HP and attack breaks. Like, and it's an attack itself. Like, it's insane, bro. It is actually insane. The main reason why I'm having doubts about this guy, though, he released at a time where he didn't get a 200% until worldwide. And he released in April as part 2 of the Kale celebration for some stupid reason. I have no idea. I missed the part where Super Boo was in the Tournament of Power. I missed that part. I must have missed that. I must have fell asleep on that episode. I don't know. So that's and even though he has a 200% lead, I would still say he doesn't have a good partner. He doesn't. He does not have a good partner because we haven't gotten another Boo that really links well with him. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't get Boo Tanks, the LR physical Boo Tanks EZA last year. I'm very surprised at that. I mean, this guy has no teams, bro. He has no teams. Yeah, you can run him on Zamasu's team, but like, you're playing with fire, but I guess you don't really have much of a choice. But you are playing with fire using this guy. I think Super Boo is one of like the worst releases ever, seeing as though it took him so long to get a 200% lead. And I would still say that 200% lead isn't like his strongest. Like, he could still be much stronger. His performance can be fine, but his performance can also get you killed. I'm at a B. He's better than Super 17. 100%. 110% he's better. But just having little to no teams, it being forever for you to get a 200% lead, I feel like I have to factor that in. You are a very poor release. You were a very poor release in 2023. Very bad release. Alright, next, part 1 of the celebration, Kale. Unfortunately, I have to say Kale was a bad release. Kale was a bad release because the very simple fact that they released her and she needed Universe 6 category allies. But Universe, like, I could just bring up the Universe 6 category, right? This category is awful. Look what they gave Kale for help. They gave her LR, Kale, and Caulifla Easy A. If I was ranking LR, Kale, and Caulifla's Easy A on this meter, on this tier list, they would probably be a D. I think Super 17 is better. I think they're more valuable than Kale and Caulifla. Kale and Caulifla is actually that bad. Then they gave us Frost. I think Frost is a D on this tier list. And that's all they gave Kale. They gave her 2 awful units and nothing else. And then part 2 is Super Boo. Doesn't help Kale in the slightest. I, again, will die saying this, and I've always said this. Kale had the potential to be at or above God Goku's level if she had help. But that's the problem. God Goku is God Goku. He's always going to have help. Kale had no help. Kale had no help to speak of. Kale herself is amazing. She's pretty decent here, right? I don't care for the damage reduction thing, like, you know, resetting each turn. I'm not a big fan of that. But she's okay here, right? Transforms with a Caulifla on a team, or after doing 6 supers. You got the Super Saiyan 2 Kale. Bro, she locks down slot 1. Like, she's amazing. She locks down slot 1. But you have to get her there, and then the rest of the team is just dying around her. That's the issue. The rest of the team gets murked around her. So because she got no help, because she has no partners, because her team is awful, I also have to give her a B. She's better than Super 17, but she has no help whatsoever. No help whatsoever. Ridiculous what they did, bro. Ridiculous. Now we get to the Golden Week, World Tournament Goku and Jr. Now I'm happy to say they knocked it out of the park with them, right? They knocked it out of the park with these guys. They are incredible. Incredible. 23rd World Tournament Goku. Now people have started to hate on him a little bit. He gets guaranteed guard his first turn, which is, you know, very strong. And, you know, he gets defense whenever guard is activated. So, like, I would say if you can get all that stacked up while he has guaranteed guard. Because after that, he only has a high chance of guard. And a high chance of guard can screw you. It definitely can screw you. I have gotten killed from Goku not guarding. I have. I'm not going to sit here and act like I haven't. He has additional supers, though. He has key nullification. But see, here's the thing with him. He does okay damage, right? When he guards, he's a very good tank. He has a very good leader skill. When he revives, or another, and this is what makes it so good, he doesn't have to be the one to revive, because the standby is very hard to get. But any unit on the team can revive, and then he gets an additional super, 150% to stats, and guaranteed guard. At that point, Goku becomes God. Like, Goku is God now. He has a standby. It's hard to get into. 59% or less HP starting from the 6th turn. From the start of turn, not battle. So this guy could come in slot turn 3 and, like, you're fresh out of luck. You're assed out. You're not going to see this guy. You're not going to see a standby. Standby has really nice animation. All around with this, Goku has really nice animations. He doesn't attack. This guy's main thing is to die. He has a scouter. You're supposed to put him in slot 1, whatever slot that the the super is in, and you're supposed to revive. He does the finish effect, and boom. The finish attack doesn't do as much damage as a Spirit Bomb, but I mean, if you crit, like, it definitely can do damage. But, like, when you get this last part of his passive, oh my, he is God. He is God incarnate. He absolutely is. And then you have Piccolo Jr. Jr. is incredible as well. Piccolo is better because he's a little bit more consistent. Now, Piccolo, most of the time, you put him slot 1, you are going to get murked. You are. But he holds slot 2 and slot 3 down like no other. But he has a giant form that's very good. He's super effective and has a high chance to be a crit and gives himself ki, which is amazing. I'm so glad they've made giant forms so much better over the years, because my god, back then they just sucked. They were really bad. And it's not hard to get into. And then, see, here's the kicker. You come out of the giant form, you get the active skill. HP is 50% or less starting from the 4th turn or in facing 2 or more enemies. Majority of the time when you get the giant form, you're under the you're in the threshold to get the active skill too. You use the active skill in slot 2, he's getting additional supers. He's super effective and face only 1 enemy, by the way. He's getting what you call it? He gets an additional super as a 2nd or 3rd attacker. So you do that and put him in slot 1. Because remember, the active skill counts as a super, so he's gonna get his defensive buff. And then like he just goes to work in slot 1. Like he's at like 800k defense slot 1. 12 million attack stats. Freaking, so he can super once, super effective against all types, and he attack breaks. He can super once, and then he can super again here, and then he can he'll get the additional super here, right? And then he can get your hidden potential system. That's for like 12 plus million attack stats, 13 plus million attack stats. And if you get this, if he gets hit before he attacks, that's even more. So like 13.5 million attack stats. Like it's honestly crazy. And if you have Big Bad Bosses active, like he's crazy, man. He's crazy. Both these units are impeccable, insane. Nothing lower than Z would suffice for them. Yeah, they were incredible. Wonderful Golden Week. So, like, there was a running theme in 2023. The in-between celebrations sucked, but, like, the main celebration units were, like, godly, except Omega. We'll get to that, clown. Don't even worry. If I had to rank Krillin, though, as a banner unit, Krillin would be Z tier. As a banner unit, rating him on a banner unit curve, Krillin is S or Z tier. I would say Z tier. Like, Krillin is crazy. When we get to the goddess of the game, Bulma. I'm not playing with it. Bulma's Z tier. I'm not playing with it. I'm sorry. I'm not playing with that. Bulma's Z tier. I mean, what can I say about Bulma that hasn't already been said? She's amazing. She's incredible. I think she's the second best unit in the game. I think Orange Piccolo is the best. Spoiler alert. Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan aren't here because they actually released in 2022. So they just missed the threshold. But Orange Piccolo would easily be Z tier. Beast Gohan, he's better than these two. He's better than them, I'd say. Gohan would be A tier, I'd say. He'd be A tier. But yeah, this Bulma's incredible. Like, guards for 7 turns, gives herself ki, which is incredible. Gives herself 7 ki just from this. Rainbow orb changes, damage reduction at the start of each turn. So while other units are getting weaker as the fight goes on, after you reach a certain threshold, she's just getting stronger. She's what you call it? She's a nuker of sorts, but she rainbow orb changes, so that's not even a problem. And you would run her slot 1 or 2, so she would get those orbs. She gets stronger as she gets more orbs, so 3 key spheres, she gets 77% attack. And then she has 2 turn support with 5 or more key spheres, and then launches an additional super with 7 or more. That's not that hard to do. She's greatly raising attack and defense on 12 and 18 key. And then she has an active skill, which is amazing. 7 turn from the start of battle. I mean, you can see this. Like, it is possible. You definitely can see this. All allies 7 key and 17% attack and super effective for 1 turn. This just murders the boss. It's unalives the boss. And changes all key spheres to STR. So she'll get all of this. And like Bulma's crazy, bro. Bulma is crazy. Bulma's insane, bro. She is insane. She is the second best unit in the game. If you want to still say she's better than Orange Piccolo, I'm not going to argue it. But I think Orange Piccolo is better. But she's right there. She's right there. Bulma's insane. Okay, if I had to rate Dr. Wheelo, I'm sorry, Dr. Wheelo's C. I'm not gonna say he's D tier, but he's like C. Next, Turles. I think another B tier. Turles' problem is, well, A, he doesn't have help. But like, that's his main problem, though. He just doesn't really have help. Turles himself isn't bad, and he can cook, definitely. He has stuff here. I don't care for the stacking attack and no defense there. That's annoying. He really needs it. And then it's like, you're never going to see this at all. You're never going to see this. At all. Like, you're never going to see this. There's no Goku family, like, enemies at all. But, like, this guy can do very good damage. He can be a pretty good tank as well. Like, Turles can definitely tank. He gets the damage reduction, and the defense with each attack, super attack performance. So he'll start off weak, but he can get to a pretty good defensive level. I mean, 20% damage reduction isn't a lot. It's not. It's super effective against all types, and an additional attack that has a high chance of being a super after he performs his 6th attack. Not super attack, just attack. But yeah, like, he's strong. Like, he can definitely be strong. The problem is, like, who can you run with Turles? Like, who do you run with Turles on like, a villain team that'll help? Turles doesn't have, like, good partners. He doesn't. Like, what good partners are on Big Bad Boss, or on Pure Saiyans that have Big Bad Bosses? Or Space Traveling Warriors isn't that crazy anymore. It's not that crazy, right? Like, I could look, like, Space Traveling Warriors isn't that, like, look at these leaders. Come on, man. Look at these things. Who is the best unit here? Ribrianne? Ribrianne is probably the best unit here. Like, that should tell you something. Ribrianne is the best unit here. Yeah, so Turles' problem, again, he has no help. But I can't say Turles is straight up, like, performs bad. Super 17 is, like, where's Super 17? Super 17 is, like, he has too much that you have to do for the fight to go his way. Turles, the fight could go his way. It's just he has no help. So I would say he's B tier. I think he's better than 17. Next. Oh, God. Goku. LR Spear Bomb, Turles, Goku. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put him D tier. I'm going to put him D. Is he worse than Super 17? Well, nah, I think he is. Super 17 has a higher peak, but it's like, the thing about this Goku, this is probably I don't think this is like the worst release ever. He is top 5 though. But this guy, he was just the most tone-deaf release I've ever seen in my life. Tone-deaf. This was the 3rd base form Goku they dropped in 4 months. It's like, come on, bro. What are we doing? Omatsu, like, what are we doing, bro? But the thing is, he provides nothing. The only event you're going to think to use this guy is a Cyberman event, but it's like, you do that one time and you never touch it again. This guy provides nothing. Look, he has no defensive tech whatsoever. At least Super 17, the 17 and 17 have dodge and base. At least they have that. This guy's nothing, bro. He has nothing. He's terrible. And it sucks because his aesthetics are beautiful. His animations are beautiful. This is one of my favorite card arts in the game. Like, I love the look and aesthetics of this card. The presentation is wonderful. It's top notch. But the performance sucks, and we didn't need a 3rd base form Goku in 4 months. Like, we didn't need that. Terrible decision. Awful decision, bruh. Awful decision. I cannot believe they did that. Like, he does nothing. Look. Final blow mechanics? Like, are we kidding me? Ultra super attack. He gets a attack and defensive buff when performing an ultra super per existing enemy. Like, son, what? They hate AoE units. I swear to God, they hate AoE units sometimes. AoE units get screwed so hard. They get bent over and screwed so hard. It's insane, bro. It's actually crazy. Yeah, I think this guy's a D tier. I think he's worse than 17. You have to run him on villain teams, but he at least, like, he has defensive tech. This Goku he provides nothing. He's a loser. He's a loser. Unbelievable. Next. LR Super Saiyan 4 Full Power Goku. This guy is one of the most unfortunate releases of all time. Global got him after Dismal Future Red Zone came out, and I don't think he's very good in Dismal Future Red Zone at all. He can be good, but you have to get like uber lucky because he has to receive hits. But the thing is, I'm sick of units that have to receive hits that can't tank, and this guy is not a very good tank in base anymore. Against Omega, when Omega fight comes out on Global, he will get some of his luster back, 100%. But in Dismal Future, this guy's he's getting massacred, right? Yeah, he's getting massacred. He does decent damage in base, but like he has a damage reduction, and then he gets 40% as the first attacker. But 40% damage reduction doesn't matter when his defensive numbers are that low. Now, like, he raises defense for 4 turns, which is very good. That is very good. But if you use this guy, you have to try your best to do the standby. Get him. Once you at least reach here with Majub, that's when this guy becomes incredible. Majub is an incredible tank. He nullifies unarmed supers. 300% defense. Damage reduction by 10% per type key sphere obtained. Ridiculous. And guards for 3 turns. And supports. And type changes so you can get this easier. Like, he's incredible. And then, I mean, it should be easy to get the full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But I guess there's a chance you don't. You get screwed with orbs and you don't. You would revert back to this guy. At that point, you're most likely going to die. Your run is over. Like, this guy's not, he's not tanking, like, physical Zamasu. Like, he's not doing it. Once you get to this guy, he's God. Like, this guy, if the card was just him, like, if the card was just full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he would probably be number 5 on the all-time, on, like, the units list. He would. This guy is better than Transform Vegeta. Vegeta Blue. He's better. This guy has never sold me. He guards. He performs crit for the first 3 turns. He recovers HP. He's raising defense for 4 turns and does it on his 12th key as well. He performs a crit if it's an ultra super attack, right? He guarantee crits when key is 24. He gets defense for 5 turns after receiving or evading an attack. He has 50% damage reduction as a first attacker. It's crazy. He gets 7 key. He's auto supering. Insane. Once you get to this guy, he's God incarnate. But this guy gets you killed so much, I can't put him S tier because I don't think he's better than these units. I don't think he's better than Gohan. Gohan's more consistent. I find LR Kid Gohan to be more consistent than that. Maybe you guys might fight me on this. You could talk me up to S tier because, like, this guy is so crazy, but I think he's an A tier unit. He is not bad by any means. He was unfortunately, like, cucked and screwed by, by Dismal Future Red Zone, but, once Omega comes out, like, this guy is definitely going to get some of his luster back. I may even put him to S tier, but, like, as it stands right now, Omega's not here. And, I mean, he's good in Sin. Like, he's good in Sin, but, like, you know, it's Sin. Like, we're about to get harder fights. Sin is not stupid crazy. I mean, unless your name's Transforming Vegeta. Transforming Vegeta can't handle Sin, apparently. But, yeah, my Super Trunks is safe. I am not slandering Super Trunks anymore. Transforming Vegeta is my punching bag now. But, yeah, I think this Goku's A tier. But when Omega comes out, you could talk me up to S tier. Speak of the devil, Super Trunks. Oh God, Super Trunks. Woo! Trunks is so bad, man. I hate Trunks. And it sucks because nobody was rooting for a Super Trunks card more than me. I love Super Trunks. And Super Trunks himself isn't the problem. It's this clown. They do not like Trunks in this game, bro. I swear to God. So, like, he does all this stuff. That's cool. That's fine. Additional attack that has a great chance of being a super and a high chance to guard when there's 3 or more Android Cell Saga allies on the team. Here's where we have an issue. Now, it's not really that bad. When he came out, it was horrible. When he came out, it was terrible. Because we didn't have In Future Gohan TCA. We didn't have LR Future Gohan. Now that we have them, it's not so hard. But it's like high chance. This guy is literally a crapshoot. It's 50-50. It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip. Because if you put this guy in front of attacks and he doesn't guard, he's dead. I don't care what nobody says. If you put this guy in front of attacks and he does not guard, he is dead. He is dead. Unless it's like one attack. Even when he's guarding, if he gets supered, it still does massive damage. I mean, the damage he does is okay, sure, but like... And it gets super effective when you fight a Cell, but like you never fight Cell. Like Cell Red Zone, I use for like unit face-off events most of the time, but like Cell isn't that hard of a fight. He's not. He's like a middle of the road fight, right? Like this guy is. He's literally a crapshoot, but even when you guard, he could still get you killed. And then, like, he has the active skill. He delays the active for 1 turn. 60% HP or more starting from the 3rd turn. That's cool. And then you transform into Super Trunks after performing 5 or more attacks. Now, Super Trunks is God if you can keep your HP up, but that's the thing. So, Trunks gets 4 key, 300% to stats, launches an additional super, and guards for 3 turns. Then he gets a whole bunch of stats buffs the more HP you have. But if you get to this guy, like, because he's just an attack condition, so when you do your 5 attacks, you transform into this guy, you could be at like 30% HP. This guy has very low stats. At which point, the guard isn't even going to help all that much. Like, yeah, he'll do pretty good damage because he crits, but the guard isn't even going to help you that much, and this guy could still get killed. And then you don't have the active skill that is a crit and delays an enemy action. You don't get that. And then you don't have good stats. This guy, Super Trunks is godly, but this guy, if it was just Super Trunks would be right here. Like, honestly, Super Trunks would be right here. But Super Saiyan Trunks, the base form, is so bad that I'm putting him here. He is that bad. He's Turles isn't a crapshoot once you get to his peak. You can get to Super Saiyan Trunks' peak in base, and he's... Like, you can get him to guard it, you can still die. Like, Kale, if things go right, you can... Like, you'll live. Boo, things go right, you can live. He's not gonna die if you guard. If you guard with him, like, there's a chance you still die, because his defensive numbers are that low. Awful unit. Awful unit. And then his banner unit, if I was rating banner units... Gohan, I would have to make a separate tier for Gohan. He'd be an F. Gohan's an F. I'm sorry, Gohan's an F. Okay. Now we get to the really bad part. We get to the one fumble in Major Celebration. Omega Shenron. Oh, boy. Omega Shenron. Oh, God. He has the intro. Cool. Changes, he Rainbow Orb changes. That's really good. He debuffs enemies. That's good for Super Battle Road, I guess. 3 key and 200% to stats. An additional 20% attack up to 150% with each attack performed. I'd rather it be defense as well, but, that's cool. Then he gets an additional key and damage reduction received by 5%. Per GT bosses category allies on the team. And this is where Omega completely combusts and falls apart. Yes, you can get an additional 7% damage reduction per rainbow keys for obtained. Yes. But 30... What would it be? Like 35% if I'm not mistaken? 35% damage reduction is not good enough. His defensive numbers are okay. Like, they're not terrible. They're okay, but 35% damage reduction is not good enough, bro. It's not. And then he has a revive, which is good. And then like you get super, like he's good. But here's the problem: you have to run him on GT bosses to be his best, and he leads GT bosses. Now, let's take a look at GT bosses, right? Let's take a look at GT bosses. You have LR Omega. Is LR Omega bad? He's a terrible release, but would I call him a bad unit? No. He's like a middling, okay-ish unit. Right? Baby's okay. He's an okay EZA. You suck and need EZA. You need EZA. I mean, y'all just came out and y'all suck. Y'all aren't good. Your clock has hit 12. Unfortunately, the clock has hit 12 for my boy. His time in the sun has ended. It was fun while it lasted, though, but he's not too great now. You aren't good enough. You should have been better. You aren't good enough. You should have been better. You've aged. You were never good. You were never good. You suck. You're just okay. You aged. Like, what are you running? You're running Omega, baby. This band unit, baby. Isanova. 17 and 17 and them? Like, you have no option. You have no options here. All of them are going to get you killed. All of them can get you killed. If Omega had the 35% damage reduction here, with however much this is here, am I stupid? Like, yo, what? I was top in my class in math. Why can't I do this? Yeah, it's 35. Okay, I'm not bugging. So he can have 70% damage reduction with all GT bosses category allies and this. Yeah, cool. But what's the point of that when the rest of the team just dies? But then you run him outside of this. The max he can get if you have no GT bosses units and run him on one of these other categories is 35% damage reduction, and he's not surviving with that. Omega's a B, bro. His team is that bad. It's that, and him being so dependent on that team makes him that bad, bro. It makes him that bad. Oh, Omega, what did they do to you, bro? Like, what did they do to you? It's insane what they did. They need to be jailed. They need to be jailed for what they did to Omega. This is not what little me playing Tenkaichi IG3 would want from a Omega card. But it gets a little bit better. We have the LR Vegito Blue and LR Fusion Zamasu. At least they are pretty good, right? They are pretty good. Where's the thing? I guess let me just find him real quick. Alright, Vegito. Okay, here's Vegito. I'm gonna bring up Vegito. And I'll bring up Zamasu as well. Boom, Zamasu. Okay. Let's talk about Vegito first. This blue Vegito, I think he's a Z tier unit. Vegito is way too powerful. And it's not like these guys are like awful in base. While their intro is up, they can go slot 1. Yes. The problem arises, first of all, in slot 1, I mean, even in slot 2 and 3, their attack stats are not good. But in slot 1, like, their attack stats are pitiful. Like, I've seen them do, like, under 2 million attack stats for an LR. Like, that's awful. And their fusion condition is one of the worst in the game. Right? 70% or less HP starting from the 5th turn from their start of turn. Or when there's another Future Saga category ally attacking the same turn. Or a Future Saga category enemy starting from the 7th turn. Unbelievable. There are times you get this before you get the HP one, by the way. It's ridiculous. But on to the positives. Their leader skill is the best in the game. Best leader skill in the game by far. Like 150% to, like, you could death throw Bulma in his team. It's that crazy. They guard, so like with the guard, and they have 50% dodge chance to dodge in slot 1. You could put them slot 1 and they could be safe. The problem is, once their intro wears off, and it's only for 4 turns, and you're not ready to transform into Vegito, they are sitting ducks if they do not dodge. If they don't dodge, they are going to get you killed. They're going to get you killed, bro. Easily they can get you killed. These guys have screwed me before, 100%. 100%. But when you get to Vegito... Now, I don't like the fact that Vegito doesn't heal. I feel like he should heal. But Vegito's God, bro. Man, Vegito's just... He's crazy. Super effective against all types. 30% damage reduction before attacking. And then he has 20% damage reduction overall. So he had 50% before attacking. Then it goes down to 30 after he attacks. High chance to dodge. And launches an additional that has high chance of being a super as the first attacker. Launches an additional super and medium chance of launching another additional super as second or third attacker. And then additional super when activating the active skill. So you activate this active skill, right? And it's not hard. 50% HP or less. Or when facing only one enemy whose HP is 50% or less. Not hard. You activate the active skill in slot 2. Then you put him in slot 1. He'll super once, right? Then he can super here. Right? That's 2. Then he'll super here because the active skill is considered a super attack. So that's 3. Then he can super here because you activated the active skill. So that's 4. And then he can get a hidden potential super, which is 5. And he's just raising his defense each time. Each time. It's insane. Like, this guy could get over 1,000,000 defense with dodge. With 30% damage reduction. Like, at that point, 30% damage reduction is amazing. All of it super effective against all types. Oh, when he activates the active skill, never mind the defense because he has guaranteed dodge. I think because of Vegito, they're a Z tier. If it was just the blues, they would be A tier. But because of Vegito, they are a Z tier. Zamasu is also a Z tier. Do not get me wrong. Zamasu is also a Z tier. I think he's better because he's better in base. Pretty good leader skill. Definitely helps that you could bring pretty much any extreme class unit. That does help a lot. Gets, very good defense on 12 and 18 key. He has 20% damage reduction for the first 4 turns. And then he gets an additional 20% for the first turn. So he has 40% for the first turn. But really he has 80% because he has a base set of 40% damage reduction. It's crazy. This guy could have 80% damage reduction. Turn 1. He's not taking any form of damage, bro. Any form of damage. Now, he has to get hit to, once he gets hit, he, let me see. Yeah. Additional defense was 50% when receiving an attack. And then he gets additional 25% attack with each attack received up to 150. So, to fully, be at his peak, he has to get hit, quite a few times, actually. But this guy could do, like, 16 million, like, damage. Or, like, 15 million damage. Like, it's redonkulous what he can do. It is redonkulous what he can do. And he can have a high chance to super within the same turn after receiving an attack. Like it's ridiculous. And then you can transform into Infinite Zamasu. Now it's the same condition as Vegito's, which I'm not a fan of, but Infinite Zamasu, like, he can't be touched. Like, he literally nullifies all attacks directed at him. He can't be touched. He cannot die. 4 key, 300% attack. He obviously doesn't do as much damage as he would in base, but still. I'll take that attack like debuff for, like, being invincible. He changes AGL and SCR key space into tech. He gives extreme class allies 3 key. And he has a domain which increase the damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 30%, which is... there's really no superclass enemies except from that Mortal Will and God event or whatever it's called. Besides there's not really any, so... This isn't super beneficial right now. Gohan's is much better. Um, yeah, he gets the support with 4 more tech keys obtained, which is not hard to do. Yeah, Zamasu was crazy, bro. Zamasu was wild. Zamasu easily Z tier, easily Z tier. So I did say I was gonna keep it to like premium units, but Android 18 and Mamba both headlined their banner, so I am going to talk about them. Mamba is not the crazy. Android 18 is okay. Android 18 is okay. She's definitely not bad. Yo, I have so many tabs open. Like, 180% attack and defense. She greatly raised attack and defense for 1 turn, which is very good. And then she gets another 180% to stats from performing a super. Medium chance to dodge, and then another 180% attack, and then 18% chance to dodge, so that's 48%. And there's another 4 more Peppy Gals category allies on the team. Or there's a physical type enemy, so I mean, there is that. And then super effective against all types for 6 turns after evading an attack. So like, she has dodge, she has greatly raised defense, she has a lot of defensive buffs. I mean, she could definitely get punished pretty badly, but she at least has an out. She has an out, and like Peppy Gals isn't like the greatest team, but it's better than GT Bosses. Anything's better than GT Bosses. I'll say Android 18 is about a B. I'll say she's about a B. Mamba, on the other hand, Mamba's not too great. Greatly raises defense for 4 turns, which is very good. That's very good. 2 key, 150% to stats, another 100% defense on performing a super. 500% attack, performs a crit, and disables the attacked enemy's action once within the turn when performing a super attack if the target enemy is an attack down, defensive down, stunned, or sealed state. Here's the problem. In no hard fight, you can do this. And Super Battle Road's short, but Super Battle Road isn't even that hard anymore. Extreme Super Battle Road can still be a little bit tough, but still not all that hard. All allies 40% attack and high chance of all enemies minus 20% attack when there are another 4 more Peppy Gals category allies on the team, or when there's a STR type enemy. She has very bad links, no categories. She doesn't even count for GT bosses because she's not a boss. So stupid. It should be GT villains, just like it should be movie villains. So dumb. But yeah. It's like they really focused on her attack, but like she has no defensive tech at all. And like you can't even do this in 90% of red zone stages. You can't even do this. So it's like, whereas Android 18 at least has defensive tech, Mamba has nothing. She just has attack, but it's like, look at her attack. Attack is 11,000. Like, come on. Like, granted, she gets 500% here, but like, come on, bro. She's a glorified banner unit. Like, she shouldn't be having attack. Am I gonna say no? Because she's not as stupid of a release as Goku, so I'm not gonna put her down there. She's not as stupid of a release. I don't know, but they did need Mamba to be good, though. Peppy Gals needed Mamba to be good, and she's not. Peppy Gals really, like, look at the teams. Earthlings, Battle of Wits, well, Earthlings isn't bad because of Bulma. Battle of Wits is pretty okay. Yeah, Battle of Wits is okay. Okay, I guess they didn't need Mamba that bad. Yeah, okay, Mamba can stay in D. Mamba can stay in D tier. Why not? Then we have the part 2 of the Worldwide. We have Spirit Bomb, Sword, Trunks, and LR Future Gohan. Now I'll just tell you right now, LR Future Gohan, Z tier. He's Z tier. And I think Trunks is S tier. Now, where is it? I'm gonna talk about Gohan first since he's easy because everybody's like talked about Future Gohan. LR Future Gohan is God, right? Like he is God. Like, Future Saga 3 key, 200% to stats. That's insane. Then he's greatly raising defense on 18 and 12 key. Insane. This guy can take damage. He definitely can. Damage reduction received by 40% for 5 turns. And then he has extra 20% here for, which makes it 60% damage reduction. And then he gets an additional 20% and launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super, and he gets 18 or more. So you can have 80%. Like, it is good, but I've definitely seen that this guy can take damage because his defensive numbers aren't super high. So, like, slot 1, he may not be the craziest. If you have to put him slot 1, he might not get you killed, but he will take some damage. His attack is okay. His attack is not bad. But he gets really crazy when he backs out the domain. Starting from the 5th turn, right? And he performs a guaranteed crit when key is 24, which is insane. But when he backs out the domain, increases damage received by extreme class enemies and allies by 30%. He decimates red zone bosses. And then he gets his active skill. Gives him a permanent 5 key and 20% defensive buff. This is an out of turn buff. Active skills are like out of turn buff, so this is actually more than 20%. Yeah. This guy is incredible. He can tank pretty well. His domain is incredible. And then he can do really solid damage as well. Yeah, I think he's the 3rd best unit in the game. Now, Trunks. Trunks, I would say, is like 10th on the LR list. Trunks is not bad by any means. Trunks is in the same boat as the Z Duo. It's easy for him to get caught, and he has to stack up. But the Z Duo stacks up faster. That's the thing. The Z Duo does stack up faster because they greatly raise defense. However, Trunks can do very, very good damage. He has a standby, which is not hard, just 5th turn from start of turn. So, like, when he gets there. And then you go into standby mode. I mean, comparing his standby mode to base Vegeta from the Z Duo, Trunks is better turn 1, but after turn 1, base Vegeta is better. This guy, 12 key, 200% attack and defense, then 150% to stats when performing a super. An additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super, and 50% damage reduction for the first turn. Guard and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of being a super as the first attacker. Launches an additional super with 5 or more key spheres, and then he Rainbow Orb changes. And you do all of this, so the Final Hope Slash charges up from how many attacks are done before you do it. Very easy to do. The Final Hope Slash is very strong. I think the Spirit Bomb is stronger, so that is something to bear witness to. The Spirit Bomb, I do believe, is much stronger. But yeah, Trunks is very good. He's very similar to the Z Duo. He is very similar to the Z Duo. Yeah, so I think they should be in the same tier, S tier. All right, next. Okay, if I were to rate Maya and Zamasu, they're banning it. If I were to rate Maya and Zamasu, Maya's C tier. Zamasu might be D tier. Zamasu's pretty bad. 17 and 18. Ooh. They're C tier. They're pretty bad. They're like one of the worst designed units I've ever seen in my life. They are horrible. Horribly designed. Awful design. And it's their leader scale isn't even that crazy. And then they get a unit super where they massively raise attack and defense, which is amazing, sure. But you need a Goku in the same turn, right? Oh, they can get additional 59% attack when performing a super, and they get a scouter when Goku is in the turn. Do you see my issue with them? Like, they're okay. They Rainbow Orb change for 4 turns. Like, they have high attack and defensive buffs. Like, they can be good. And they are good, but they can be good, but to be their best, to be really usable, they need a Goku in the same turn. We have no great Gokus on tournament participants. We don't really have great Gokus on superheroes, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. You've aged, right? You've aged. You don't count. Well, no, I think they would count. Okay, no, they would count. They would actually count. But even still, you have to run them with a unit that they share no links with. Absolutely no links with. Unbelievable. And you can only get on one team. Absolutely stupid. And then they get their active skill. Change tech key spheres to ink key spheres. I mean, cool, sure. Because they get a high chance to crit with 7 or more key spheres. Wow, wonderful. They get damage reduction when performing a super, but I mean, 35% damage reduction isn't enough. It's not enough. And then most of their teams, you're not going to be able to get a Goku next to them. Like, it's so stupid. Why do they do that? I don't know. Very weird. Very, very weird design. I think they're C tier. That design is just awful, bro. Awful. And then we have LR, Ribrianne, Rosie, and Kakunsa. Now, they're interesting, right? They are interesting. I'm stuck between A and B tier for them. They're not what they should have been, but they're not bad either. They have an intro, changes STR, AGL, and physical key series to tech within the same turn. 3 key for 3 turns. That's good. Another 3 key, 122% attack and defense. Changes STR to tech. Medium chance of changing AGL to tech. And then medium chance of physical to tech. So a lot of orb changing with them. A lot of RNG orb changing with them. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of being a super. HP is above a threshold. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of being a super when there's another Universal Survival Saga ally in the same turn. That's not too hard. Additional 2 key, 122% attack and defense. Well, I mean, that could be hard because that team isn't exactly good. 2 key, 122% attack and defense when attacking, and damage reduction received by 22%. With 2 or more type key spheres obtained. And then they have a crit up to 66% each time the character obtains 2 key spheres within the same turn. They are weird in base. They can, like, somewhat do the job, kind of, sort of, but they are weird in base. But when Ribrianne goes into giant form, oh my god. And it's like, another power of which is category ally attacking the same turn when HP is 66% or less. That's not hard to do. Or less, or can be activated 6 turns from the start of battle. When you get here, oh my god, Ribrianne is crazy. Ribrianne is insane. 2 key per key sphere obtained. So you're basically getting like auto supering. Changes STR key spheres to tech key spheres and randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow. So she's like double orb changing, and then she has a high chance to crit. And you know you can't take damage in giant form. She's critting, she can't take damage, and she's doing insane amounts of damage. I cannot deny her giant form. I can't deny it. And because of her giant form being so crazy, I'm going to give her an A tier. Because her giant form is that insane, I'm giving her an A tier. Okay, next. Why are you up here? You should be down here. Next, we have Android 21. I think Android 21 is very overhated. I think 21 is an A tier unit. And she's very strong. Android 21. People like to say that Gohan and Piccolo is better. I'm like, no. Because Android 21 is at least good in base. She's at least good in base. Their transformation might be better. But she's at least good when, the fight starts. 150% attack and defense. All allies 2 key, which is very good. 120% when attacking. A high chance to dodge within the same turn after attacking. So, unfortunately, she's not good for Fusion Zamasu. She should be good for Sin and Omega, though. Because, she gets to dodge after she attacks. And then, she gets buffed after she evades. She could quadruple super, if I'm not mistaken. And then she gets a whole bunch of, buffs. So, she could super. And then super here. And then super a third time. It's crazy. And then she disables that. She attack breaks after performing the 6th attack. And then great chance of performing a crit starting from the next attack. So she has stuff. She has tech. She's not bad at all. And then her transformation is very easy when facing only one enemy starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. And you transform here. She's incredible. She recovers HP, and then she recovers HP here. She recovers okay. And she recovers HP, more HP from her passive. So, covers 30% HP, 210% attack and defense, 2 key to all allies, and 2 key 121% attack and defense when attacking, 21% damage reduction. Now, that's not a lot, but I guess it's something. I'd rather it be there than not. and she has defense plus 60% within the same turn after receiving an attack. She should be able to, like, that first hit will sting a bit, but afterwards she'll be more than fine. And she launches 2 additionals, each of which has a great chance of being a super, so she can super, then she could additional super, and then additional super, and then hidden potential super. So that's 4 attacks. And then she recovers 21% HP when HP is 60% or less at the end of turn. Then she has an active skill, can attack break, disable enemies action once within a turn, attack break, and then super effective against all types. Like, she's crazy, and it's super easy to get, facing only one enemy starting from the next attacking turn. Insane, wonderful unit. I truly love this unit. I wouldn't put her on the level of these guys up here, but she's definitely A tier. She's definitely A tier, right? Next. Oh, and I think her banner unit's very good too. Rating her on a banner unit curve, I would probably put her S tier. I don't think she's better than the Dokkan Fest 21, obviously, but on a banner unit curve, I would rank her S tier. Next we have Vegito. Now, again, Vegito's not a Dokkan Fest, but he headlined his own banner, so he counts. Vegito's Z tier. I'm sorry. Vegito's Z tier. Vegito's crazy. I am not having this discussion with people. Vegito is that guy. Vegito is insane. Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Vegito is like Limit Breaker Vegito is he's bonkers. He's bonkers. I mean, let's look at it. My only complaint is that he doesn't get defense on super. That's my only complaint. It's very good leader skill, right? Because Dragon Ball Heroes is actually like good now. It's actually decent. He has the intro, and then chance of performing a crit plus 30% and damage reduction received by 30% for 6 turns. And then he has another damage reduction when all allies in the same turn are Giant Ape Power or Crossover. So he has 60% damage reduction for the first 6 turns. 3 key attack and defense plus 200%. Then another 150% to stats when performing a super. 100% attack and defense and great chance of launching an additional super. And there's another Giant Ape Power or Crossover category ally attacking the same turn or an enemy of those categories. And then he gets a 70%. He gets a 40% chance to crit. So on top of that, he'll have a 70% chance to crit, 60% damage reduction, right? And he has all these defensive buffs. And then he does his active skill, where all attacks become crits, and this guy's doing like 12 million attack stats. So he can super once, and then additional here, and then attack a third time. Super a third time. All of it being crits. With 60% damage reduction, with, after doing the super attack, like 700 KH, defense. No other place other than Z tier for this guy would suffice. I'm not going to say Broly and Vegeta headlined. I don't think they really headlined. It was him and Rose. Those were the main headliners. Alright, we're almost done. Almost done. Who is this guy? Oh, they were the banner unit for them. Okay, Rose, right? Now, Rose's not as good as Vegito. But I think Rose is... Super Saiyan 3 Rose is very, underrated. He's very slept on. Like, he is very good. He is very good. So he stacks attack, and then he raises defense for 1 turn, in base. 3 key, 180% to stats, 150% when attacking. High chance to guard, so, you know, it's that high chance to guard. But he has a way to get conditional guard, which I do not mind. 100% defense and guards all attacks when there are another 3 or more crossover category allies on the team. You would mainly be running him on Dragon Ball Heroes / crossover, so that's not a problem. Launches an additional that has a great chance of being a super when there's an enemy whose name includes Goku. Alright, you're not going to see that. But like, he can guard. He has decent defense, and then he could get more defense from attacking. So like, he's a good slot 2 unit. Then he transforms from the 5th turn from the start of battle. Now this guy is crazy. He heals 40%, and for the next turn onward, recovers 15% HP at the start of each turn. Insane. 4 key, 200% to stats, and 150% when attacking. Raises attack and defense by up to 150% more HP, remaining the greater stat boost. So he's... If you're high HP, this guy is incredible. Guaranteed guards now. Additional, that has a high chance of being a super. And that's just outright. And then if there's an enemy whose name includes Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, which you will never see unless you fight that Mortal Will event or whatever and fight the Vegito. That's the only place. But you're never gonna see that. But launches another and additional that has a great chance of being a super. So realistically, he'll get super, and then he'll get this super, and then you'll get the hidden potential if you have it. So 3 supers. He guaranteed guards. He's raising defense on each of them, and he heals each turn. Whew! Now, do I think he's better than 21? I don't know. I do not know. Oof, man. Saying he's S tier with me saying he's better than Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I don't think overall that's true. So I'm going to put him A tier. But he's like a very high A tier. He's a very high A tier. Whew. Alright, almost done. Almost done. How long have we been? Man, this video is an hour and 15 minutes. Oh my god. Almost done. 4 more units. The Super Saiyan trio from the Android 13 movie, they're Z tier. I'm not playing with nobody. Not playing with nobody. I'm going to try to hurry these last few up. But, yeah, I'm not playing with nobody. These guys are incredible. They are, yeah, they are just that good. They are that good. I'm sorry. They are that good. They do crazy damage. They have very good defense. They can raise their defense, greatly raise their defense for 3 turns. They're critting. They could do like 5 supers. Amazing leader skill. Super Saiyans is very good. Like, they're just amazing, bro. They're amazing. Gohan and Piccolo, I'm going to put A tier. I'm putting them A tier because their base form... Yeah, I'm going to try to hurry these last few up. Their base form is super terrible, but it's easy to get them to revive, and Kid Gohan revived is very strong, right? And Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Ribrianne, I think, are both Z tier. I think they are both Z tier. I'll talk about them since they're newer. Where's Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Right here. Boom. Real quick. This guy is dodge or die. He can be. High chance to dodge. And then chance to dodge was 20% at second or third attacker. So he can have 70% chance to dodge. Great chance of nullifying unarmed supers. Like, that's good. Then you get the standby. Right? Not hard to do. 70% or less HP starting from the 3rd turn. Now, he's not... You can attack. And then the thing for him is to put him in front of the attack. And when you put him in front of the attack, he will nullify the super and then counter with the Dragon Fist. And then from the turn afterward, all attacks will be critical hits. He has He has 90% chance to dodge in this form, if I'm not mistaken. He gives support. He has the scouter, so you can put him in front of there. Yeah. I think he's easier. He's very good. He can be dodge or die. You can get screwed with this, definitely, and he just doesn't dodge, but 90% chance to dodge, that's really just you have horrible luck, honestly. And, if we go... Oh, yeah, Hirudegarn's not on the name thing. You actually have to look him up. Very odd they don't have him there. Hirudegarn... Oh, wait, oops. I messed up. Not that Hirudegarn. This one, okay. This guy is another somewhat dodge or die character. He has a lot of dodge. He's, ooh, man, a lot of dodge. High chance to crit. Yeah, 70% chance to dodge. And then additional attack that has a great chance of being a super. Then the same turn after evading an attack. Then he gets more defense with each attack evaded. Like, he can be dodge or die, but he does have pretty high defense. And then he transforms. Not a bad condition at all. He transforms. Has a 70% chance to dodge again. Right? Plus an additional chance of evading enemies' attack. And chance of performing a crit plus 10% within the same turn with each attack evaded. So it can go up to 100 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it can. Maybe, I'm not sure. This guy definitely can sell you though. Like if he doesn't dodge and he gets hit with a super right away, like it'll hurt. Definitely, it'll hurt. But if he dodges, if everything goes your way, like this guy's the best TUR. Well, Dokkan Fest TUR. I still think Vegito's better, but Dokkan Fest TUR, this guy would still be the best. And then if you dodge, so every time he dodges 3 times in battle, his next turn he has guaranteed dodge. It's insane, insane. He doesn't have a lot of teams, but he helps the teams that he's on. He doesn't have a whole lot of help, though. But he's so strong that, I mean, at some point he is going to need help, but, like, he is, like, very good. He is the best Dokkan Fest TUR. And, yep, that is every unit, every premium unit in 2023 ranked. Whoa, man, an hour and 20 minutes. My God, it's going to take forever to upload. Let me know what you guys think about my tier list. Would you move around some people? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe for more Dokkan Battle content such as this. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I love y'all. 17 more subs and then we'll be at 500, bro. Fire. Go check out that anniversary vid. I'm going to put it in the end screen. Go check out the anniversary tier list video. Run that up some more. I'm trying to get that to like 2K, bro. I'm trying. But yeah, run that up. Like and subscribe. I love y'all. I'm going to catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Deuces.